The Tenfold Realms, a journey through the dimensions, a metaphysical map of consciousness, reality, and the nature of existence. By David Rousseau. Chapter 1. The First Realm, the Physical Plane. The realm of matter, form, and linear time. Your journey begins here, right where you are. In the body. In matter. In the solid world of form, sensation, and movement. The physical plane is the realm you know best. It's the dimension where each moment unfolds in a straight line, carried forward by gravity, shaped by time, and interpreted through the senses. Here, reality appears certain, tangible, unquestionable. But even this familiar world is filtered, translated, through the limits of perception. Everything you experience arrives as an interpretation. Light becomes color. Vibration becomes sound. Texture becomes feeling beneath your fingers. Your senses are remarkable translators, turning waves of energy into the language of experience. Yet behind all of that interpretation is a continuous flow of reality, vast, unbroken, and often unnoticed. The body, in its intricate design, acts as both vessel and gateway, offering a focused but deeply rich window into existence. This is also the realm where identity first takes shape. You learn who you are by inhabiting this body, by feeling hunger and rest, pleasure and discomfort. Memories settle into muscle and cell, forming patterns, habits, and the first outlines of a personal story. Linear time anchors that story. The past becomes narrative, the future becomes anticipation. And each moment carries traces of what has been and hints of what could be. But the physical plane is not simply a place of limits. It's the ground on which every other realm stands, the foundation from which consciousness grows. Awareness of the body, its weight, its heartbeat, its subtle hum, provides the stability every traveler needs before stepping into subtler dimensions. This physical form, dense and alive, is your anchor. As you listen, you might notice your own body, how it rests, how it breathes, how it simply is. The gentle pressure against the chair or floor. The quiet vibration of life within muscles and bones. Each breath a reminder, you are matter, animated by consciousness. A unique expression of existence moving through space and time. We often move through the world as if it's a stage on which events happen to us. But even the most ordinary moments in this realm become extraordinary when held in mindful attention. The warmth of sunlight. The roughness of bark beneath your fingers. The scent of rain carried on wind. Each sensation is an invitation to presence, an invitation to witness how perception both reveals and shapes the world you experience. Reflection. As you continue through your day, you might notice the subtle ways your senses color your reality. The sounds you usually overlook. The textures you rarely pay attention to. The shifting patterns of light around you. Consider how these sensory impressions influence your sense of self, and how the rhythm of daily life weaves the story you live inside. Meditation. When you have a quiet moment, allow your breath to deepen. Feel the energy entering with each inhale. Sense the grounding weight of your body with each exhale. Let the physicality of your existence come into focus, the gravity that holds you, the aliveness that moves through every cell. This embodied presence is your first step into the greater journey. It will serve as your anchor through all dimensions. As this first chapter comes to a close, carry this awareness with you. Your body is both teacher and companion. It roots you in the now. And every sensation, every heartbeat, every subtle shift, opens a doorway to realms of consciousness that lie just beyond the reach of the senses. Here, in the physical plane, the journey begins. Chapter 2. The Second Realm, the Energetic Field. The realm of subtle energy, vibration, and intention. Beyond the solid world of matter lies another dimension, less visible, less tangible, yet deeply alive. This is the realm of subtle energy, of vibration, and of the quiet currents that animate all physical forms. If the body is your anchor in the physical plane, the energetic field is the breath that moves through it, the unseen force that reveals how life is shaped from within. Every living being radiates energy. You do as well. Your body hums with subtle frequencies, a field that extends beyond the skin and mingles with the world around you. Your thoughts, your emotions, your intentions, none of them stay contained. They ripple outward. Joy, anger, fear, love. Each carries its own resonance, coloring the space within and around you. Imagine this energetic field as a luminous atmosphere surrounding your physical form, shifting, brightening, tightening, softening, responding moment by moment to your inner state. This realm acts as a bridge between worlds. It connects the solidity of matter with the fluidity of emotion, imagination, and thought. Here, intention becomes a creative force. What you focus on, knowingly or not, sends waves through this field. A kind thought, a steady goal, a moment of deep presence. Each one creates movement. These ripples influence your perception, your mood, and even the environment you move through. To sense this field more consciously, you might bring your attention to your hands. If it feels comfortable, imagine holding them a small distance apart. Picture the space between them. Many people, with practice, sense warmth, tingling, or a gentle resistance, as though an invisible current flows between the palms. Whether or not you feel anything right away, the act of noticing opens the door. It invites awareness of the vibrational nature of existence. Emotions, too, are energetic. Think of how fear tightens the body and chills the spirit, while love expands and radiates warmth. Each emotional state carries a frequency, one that shapes how you move through the world and how others experience you. When you become aware of this dimension, life begins to shift. You notice which environments uplift you, which conversations drain you, and how even a small shift in focus or intention can change the flow of your day. The relationship between the physical body and the energetic field reveals a profound truth. Consciousness is not limited to form. Life is vibration in motion, a continual dance. And you are both witness and participant in that dance. As you grow sensitive to subtle energy, you gain tools for moving with greater ease, noticing the unseen currents beneath daily experience, and interacting with the world with deeper intention. Exercise. When you have space to do so, sit comfortably and breathe slowly. Imagine your energy expanding gently with each exhale, as though it softens and reaches beyond the boundaries of the body. With each inhale, feel that same energy drawing inward, returning to your center. If you move your hands in front of you, pay attention to the space between them. Warmth, tingling, a subtle pressure. There is no need to force anything, simply observe. Then, release a small intention into this field, perhaps a wish for calm, clarity, or connection. Notice how it feels to send energy purposefully. Reflection. As you go through your day, observe the tone of your emotions and thoughts. Which ones feel harmonious, and which feel discordant? How does tuning into your own energy change the way you perceive others, or the spaces you enter? The energetic field is your first invitation to perceive the unseen, to sense the currents that shape life beneath the surface of matter. It reminds you that the world is both visible and invisible, physical and vibrational, tangible and deeply fluid. Cultivating this awareness prepares you for the realms to come, realms where imagination, feeling, and consciousness unfold in even subtler ways. As this chapter comes to a close, hold this understanding close. The body is the vessel. The energy is the river. And learning to feel its flow prepares you for the journey into the next realm, where dreams, symbols, and emotions take form, guiding you deeper into the landscapes of inner experience. Chapter 3, the third realm, the astral veil. Dreamscapes, symbolism, and emotional topography. Beyond the solidity of the physical world, and beyond the subtle currents of the energetic field, lies a realm shaped by imagination, emotion, and the inner senses. This is the astral veil, a dimension where thoughts take form, feelings become landscapes, and the familiar boundaries of waking life gently fall away. Here, consciousness is fluid. Reality bends like light through water. Time stretches or folds. Scenes shift with the rhythm of emotion. And the inner world begins to speak in symbols, images, and sensations that reveal what the waking mind often overlooks. Dreams offer the most familiar doorway into this realm. In dreams, the rules of the physical plane loosen. A single moment can expand into an entire journey. A conversation can take place with a part of yourself you've forgotten. Emotions appear as colors, shapes, or characters. And the landscape around you becomes a mirror, reflecting desire, fear, longing, and possibility. Nothing in the astral veil is random. Symbols here are the language of the unconscious. A mountain may rise to show you a challenge. A river may flow with change, renewal, or emotional movement. A shadow may speak for a hidden part of yourself waiting to be seen. Yet this realm cannot be approached with rigid analysis. Its messages soften when forced. They become clearer when welcomed with openness, curiosity, and a willingness to observe rather than control. The astral veil asks you to listen, to let images unfold in their own time, to notice patterns as they emerge, and to trust the quiet intelligence beneath them. Conscious entry into this realm often begins with remembering. with noticing, with recording the fragments that linger after you wake, a scent, a color, a single sentence, a feeling that clings to the edges of morning. Over time, these fragments weave themselves into a personal map, an astral landscape unique to you. Through it, your inner world reveals its patterns, its questions, and its guidance. The astral veil is also deeply connected to the energetic realm. Strong emotions shape vivid terrains. Unresolved feelings may appear as obstacles, storms, or shadows, and moments of clarity or love can unfold as open skies, calm waters, or gentle light. By recognizing the emotional origins of astral imagery, you begin to distinguish the voice of fear from the voice of intuition, the echo of past wounds from genuine inner wisdom. Practice. If you wish, take a moment, whether now or later, to recall a recent dream or a powerful emotional moment. Let it appear in your mind as a landscape. Notice the colors, the shapes, the movement. Notice how the scene feels rather than what it means. If an image grows intense, allow it to soften, the way clouds ease across a quiet sky. Over time, this simple act of visualization helps you navigate the astral realm with more clarity and less overwhelm. Reflection. Consider journaling the symbols, scenes, or feelings that arise. What patterns repeat? Which emotions or parts of yourself seem to speak through these images? And how does awareness of these inner landscapes shift the way you experience the physical world and the energetic field that surrounds it? The astral veil teaches that inner reality is alive. It is rich, layered, and constantly communicating. Here, imagination and emotion blend to reveal the deeper movements of consciousness. By exploring this realm, you learn the symbolic language of your own soul. You gain insight into the roots of your emotional patterns, and you develop a more compassionate relationship with the vast inner world that often moves unseen. As this chapter draws to a close, carry this understanding with you. Not all that is real can be touched. Not all that is visible is solid. And not all that appears in the mind is illusion. The astral veil invites you to walk gently, to observe without clinging, and to recognize that every dream, each feeling, and every inner image can become a guide. Here, the mind begins to move with freedom. Here, the heart begins to speak in symbols. And here, the deeper journey inward truly begins. Chapter 4, the fourth realm, the realm of time. Nonlinear time, timelines, and causality. As you move beyond the dreamlike fluidity of the astral veil, something begins to shift. The familiar rhythm of time, the steady march of seconds and minutes, loosens its grip. Here, you enter the fourth realm, the realm of time. This is a dimension where past, present, and future are not separate chapters, but threads woven together in a single, ever-shifting tapestry. In this realm, causality becomes flexible, possibilities multiply, and the straight line of time you once trusted reveals itself as only one way of seeing a far more intricate whole. In this dimension, time isn't measured in hours or years. It is experienced as a field, alive, branching, and layered. Moments do not disappear, they coexist. They overlap. They echo one another. Every choice becomes a pivot point, a branching path in a vast network of potential realities. Your awareness, your intention, your focus, these act like hands that lift certain threads forward while others fall into the background. You might think of a moment from your own life, a choice made, a direction taken. In the physical plane, that moment feels fixed, unchangeable. But here, in the realm of time, that same moment opens into countless variations. One version of you turned left, another turned right, another hesitated, another leaped forward. Seeing these possibilities does not erase the life you've lived. Instead, it reveals the depth of your own inner landscape, the truth that every moment holds within it an entire constellation of paths. To explore this consciously, you might bring to mind a decision from your past, not with regret and not with the desire to change it, but with curiosity. Imagine how life might have unfolded along a different branch. Who would you have met? What strengths would you have developed? What challenges or joys would you have encountered? Allow the feelings that arise to simply be there. These reflections aren't meant to rewrite the past, but to remind you of the vast potential embedded in every moment. Exercise. If you feel called, choose one or two pivotal moments from your life and imagine them as points in a web, nodes from which many paths extend. Sense these paths rather than analyze them. Some may feel light or expansive, others may feel heavy or quiet. Notice how the choices you made shaped the present moment you stand in now. And notice how an awareness of multiple paths might influence the choices you make moving forward. The realm of time also invites contemplation of free will and destiny. Some experiences may feel inevitable, moments that seem to arrive no matter what you did. Others may feel like clear products of your choices. In this realm, the tension between fate and freedom softens. Instead of a single predetermined storyline, life becomes a living script, one you co-create through intention, awareness, and action. Reflection. As you move through your day, notice moments when time feels tight, when you feel rushed, trapped, or bound by a single option. Pause for a breath. Consider whether there might be unseen branches extending from this moment, subtle choices that open new directions. How does recognizing this fluidity shift your perception of freedom, responsibility, or possibility? Meditation in this realm often involves stepping back from the story of your life and observing its architecture. Imagine rising above your timeline, seeing not a straight path but a luminous web. Threads converge, diverge, loop back, and stretch outward. Some glow more brightly because they resonate with who you are today. Others are quiet potential, waiting for your attention to awaken them. You don't need to choose or decipher anything. Simply witness the interconnectedness, the beauty of the design, the way each moment touches every other moment in subtle and profound ways. As this chapter comes to a close, hold this understanding gently. Time is not just something you move through. It is something you participate in, something you shape, something that responds to your awareness. In the fourth realm, you begin to see how choice and potential dance together, how your life is created not only by what has happened, but by what you imagine, what you choose, and what you allow yourself to believe is possible. Here, the traveler discovers that reality is not fixed, and the future is never fully written. It is a living conversation between consciousness and possibility. A conversation you are part of, moment by moment, thread by thread. Chapter 5. The fifth realm, the plane of sacred geometry. The mathematical structure of reality. As you move beyond the fluid, shifting nature of time, you enter a realm where form itself becomes the language of existence. This is the fifth realm, the plane of sacred geometry. Here, patterns emerge as the foundation of reality. Shapes, ratios, and harmonics reveal themselves as the architecture beneath all things, the quiet blueprint that connects matter, energy, consciousness, and every realm that follows. In this dimension, reality is not only sensed or felt, it is designed. Every spiral in a seashell, every branching river, every snowflake and star follows principles that echo through the universe. Sacred geometry acts as a bridge between the seen and the unseen. It shows that beneath the apparent chaos of life lies a profound, elegant order. These shapes are not merely visual symbols. The triangle, the sphere, the spiral, each is an energetic truth, an expression of coherence, balance, and resonance. These fundamental forms carry the instructions for how life grows, how energy moves, and how consciousness organizes itself. Your own awareness interacts with these patterns. Thoughts and emotions, intentions, and focus, each one vibrates, aligning with or disrupting the underlying geometries. A clear mind resonates with these forms, tuning itself like an instrument. Creativity, insight, and understanding naturally amplify when consciousness harmonizes with the architecture of reality. To sense this realm, you might begin with the world around you. Imagine the symmetry of a flower, the honeycomb precision of a beehive, the spiral of a nautilus shell or the vast spinning arms of a galaxy. Let these patterns rise in your awareness, not just as images, but as living structures humming with intelligence. You may also visualize these forms within. Imagine yourself standing within a delicate lattice of light, composed of interlocking triangles, spheres, and spirals. Feel how each shape holds a particular vibration, balanced, stable, and alive. Sense how your own presence fits into this geometry, how consciousness aligns naturally with order. Meditation. If you wish, close your eyes for a moment. Imagine a soft sphere of light surrounding you. Within that sphere, see a tetrahedron forming, simple, balanced, precise. Watch as it slowly unfolds into a cube, then into a spiraling helix of light. Notice the qualities each form brings: grounding, expansion, flow. Let your awareness resonate gently with these patterns, as though your mind is tuning itself to the structure of reality. This realm also teaches a profound lesson. Nothing in the universe stands alone. Every geometric form flows into another. Every structure emerges from a simple principle that repeats, expands, and evolves. The branching of a tree mirrors the branching of rivers, lightning, and neural pathways. Spiral galaxies echo the curls of ocean waves and the curves of unfolding plants. Complexity arises from elegant simplicity. And in this unity of pattern, the traveler begins to recognize a deeper harmony, the intelligence that underlies all existence. Reflection. As you move through your day, you might begin noticing patterns, the rhythms of your thoughts, the cycles in your emotions, the repeated shapes in your experiences. Ask yourself, what larger structure might these patterns reflect? Where am I aligned with harmony? And where might I refine my own inner geometry? Awareness of these patterns can guide creativity, intention, and understanding. By aligning yourself with the natural proportions of life, you open doors to clarity, insight, and a sense of meaningful flow. The plane of sacred geometry reveals that beneath every appearance, physical, emotional, energetic, there is structure, a resonance, a design. Learning to perceive this patterning expands consciousness, helping you understand not just what reality is, but how it is formed. As this chapter closes, carry with you the awareness that everything participates in this grand architecture. Every thought, every form, every moment reverberates within a geometric tapestry that spans all realms. To recognize these patterns is to move through life with grace and understanding, aware that existence itself is a symphony of proportion, resonance, and profound intelligence. Chapter 6, The Sixth Realm, the Realm of Archetypes. The universal forces behind myth and mind. Beyond the structures of form, beyond the subtle harmony of geometry, lies a realm of immense depth and power. This is the sixth realm, the realm of archetypes. Here, consciousness encounters the primordial forces that shape mind, culture, and human experience. Archetypes are not mere ideas or stories. They are living templates, energetic blueprints that influence perception, behavior, and imagination. They are the hidden currents that run beneath both the outer world and your inner life. They shape myths, legends, dreams, and every personal story that unfolds. Creation, chaos, wisdom, love, the warrior, the healer. These are not only concepts, they are universal energies that appear again and again, across cultures, across time, across generations. They are the invisible scaffolding of consciousness itself, informing thought, feeling, and action. To perceive the sixth realm, you begin by attuning to the patterns within yourself. Notice recurring challenges. Notice repeated roles you play in relationships. Notice dominant emotions or tendencies that appear across different periods of your life. These patterns often carry archetypal energy. The goal is not to control or suppress these forces, but to recognize, understand, and integrate them. Archetypes are teachers as much as they are guides. When engaged consciously, they reveal the deeper currents shaping your existence. Exercise. Identify an archetype that resonates with your current life. Perhaps the creator, the explorer, the sage, or the warrior. Notice how this energy appears in your thoughts, behaviors, and interactions. Journaling can help you track its influence and see how this universal force guides your personal journey. Myth and story are mirrors of this realm. Every legend, sacred text, and heroic tale reflects archetypal dynamics. A hero's journey is more than entertainment. It is a map of inner transformation. Recognizing these patterns in myth and in your own life allows you to navigate challenges, integrate lessons, and align more consciously with your path. Archetypes also connect the personal with the collective. You are not encountering these forces in isolation. They are shared energies, woven into the fabric of human consciousness. By engaging with them, you begin to understand the universal patterns behind thought, culture, and human behavior. You see how collective myths echo across time, and how your own life participates in these greater currents. Reflection practice. Consider the dominant archetypes shaping your life today. Which energies are active? Which lie dormant? Which require integration? Notice how these forces influence your choices, relationships, and worldview. Reflect on how archetypes act as guides, teachers, and challengers, revealing the deeper rhythms of existence. Meditation. Close your eyes and imagine yourself before a council of archetypal figures. Each radiates its distinctive energy. Approach with curiosity and openness. What messages arise? What insights do these forces offer about your current path? Receive their guidance without judgment. Simply observe, absorb, and integrate what resonates. The sixth realm teaches that reality is not only physical, energetic, or patterned, it is profoundly symbolic. Archetypal forces shape thought, inspire creativity, and guide consciousness toward evolution and wholeness. By engaging with them, you deepen awareness, cultivate wisdom, and recognize the universal patterns that connect personal experience with the collective human journey. As you leave this chapter, carry this understanding. The forces within and around you are part of a living, dynamic network of archetypes. They are mirrors, teachers, and guides. Mastery of this realm is the art of discerning these invisible currents and aligning with the universal patterns that foster growth, transformation, and insight. Chapter 7. The seventh realm, the collective mind. Shared consciousness and planetary memory. Beyond the personal and archetypal layers of consciousness lies a vast and intricate dimension, the seventh realm, the collective mind. In this realm, individual awareness merges with the shared currents of thought, culture, and memory. It is a realm of interconnectedness, where the beliefs, ideas, and emotions of humanity flow together, forming energetic networks that influence perception, behavior, and reality itself. The collective mind is subtle, yet powerful. It exists everywhere and nowhere, and its effects are tangible. It shapes societies, informs cultural norms, and guides the evolution of human consciousness. Every thought, every belief, every action contributes to this shared field. And in turn, this field shapes the individual. To navigate this realm consciously is to recognize that you are not separate from the world around you. Your inner state resonates outward, and the currents of collective energy flow inward, subtly influencing your perceptions, your choices, and your sense of self. In the seventh realm, patterns of thought and belief become visible as energetic structures. Social norms, cultural stories, and collective memories ripple through this vast ocean of consciousness. Some waves are harmonious, supporting growth and connection. Others carry tension, fear, or limitation. By observing these waves, you can discern which aspects of collective consciousness serve your highest good, and which may unconsciously steer your behavior. Exercise. Take a moment to notice the influence of group dynamics on your thoughts and emotions. Pay attention to how your reactions shift in the presence of certain people, media, or cultural rituals. Reflect on the ways collective energy reinforces habits, beliefs, or emotional patterns. Awareness of these currents provides clarity and choice. The collective mind also reveals the power of shared intention. Innovations, movements, and cultural shifts begin as sparks within individuals, gaining momentum as others resonate with the same vision. Consciousness is both personal and collective, a dynamic dance of individual awareness and shared energy. By tuning into this dimension, you gain insight into the subtle ways humanity co-creates its reality. Meditation. Sit quietly and expand your awareness beyond the boundaries of self. Imagine your consciousness extending outward, merging with the energetic field of others. Sense the ebb and flow of collective thought. Observe without judgment the patterns that arise, the currents of harmony, conflict, and aspiration. Notice where you resonate most strongly and where friction occurs. Both are opportunities to learn and to align. Reflection practice. Consider the collective beliefs that have shaped your life. Which ideas or assumptions do you carry that originated outside your direct experience? How have social, cultural, or historical energies influenced your emotions, your decisions, your sense of identity? Reflect on how increased awareness of these currents can guide you toward conscious participation rather than unconscious reactivity. The seventh realm reminds the traveler that no consciousness exists in isolation. Individual minds shape experience, but the shared mind shapes the very fabric of human reality. By cultivating sensitivity to these subtle currents, you learn to navigate life with greater discernment, understanding how collective energies influence personal perception and how intentional thought contributes to the greater good. As you leave this chapter, carry this awareness. You are both a receiver and a transmitter within a vast network of consciousness. The collective mind teaches that personal evolution and societal transformation are inseparable. Conscious alignment with the currents of shared energy can create profound harmony, insight, and creative power. In this realm, the world is not merely around you. It is woven within the invisible patterns of thought, memory, and shared intention that connect all beings. Chapter 8. The eighth realm, the realm of pure possibility. The quantum sea of potential realities. As our journey moves beyond the collective mind, the familiar anchors of form, energy, emotion, and shared thought begin to dissolve. Here lies the eighth realm, the realm of pure possibility. In this dimension, every potential exists simultaneously. Imagine an infinite sea of probability, where reality is fluid, and the very act of awareness shapes which possibilities crystallize into experience. In the realm of pure possibility, you are both observer and co-creator. Every intention, every choice, every vibration of thought resonates across countless potential realities. Time, space, and form are malleable. The familiar boundaries of cause and effect soften. At first, the mind may feel overwhelmed by the boundless nature of this realm, for here there are no limitations, only the infinite spectrum of what can be. This is the place where dreams, intentions, and consciousness converge into the raw fabric of potential. Just as a seed contains the blueprint of a tree, each conscious choice carries the potential to manifest outcomes across multiple timelines. By learning to navigate this realm with clarity and focus, you develop the ability to select pathways that align with your deeper purpose and intention. Practice. Begin by setting a clear, focused intention. Visualize it as a single point of light within the vast sea of potential. Notice the waves of possibility surrounding this point, each wave representing a different unfolding. Observe which pathways feel harmonious, which feel discordant, and which resonate with a deeper sense of truth. This simple practice strengthens discernment, allowing you to navigate infinite options without becoming lost in overwhelm. The realm of pure possibility also invites reflection on the nature of choice. While the physical world may seem limited by circumstance, in this dimension, the power of focus and conscious intention becomes clear. Even the smallest thought can influence a cascade of potential outcomes. By cultivating presence and clarity, you learn to move through life with greater agency, shaping experiences in alignment with both personal and collective growth. Meditation. Sit quietly and imagine yourself floating above an infinite landscape of potential realities. Picture pathways branching outward like luminous streams, each representing a possibility. Observe without attachment. Notice the subtle resonance of each choice. Sense which pathways align with your inner truth, and which carry lessons yet to be integrated. Over time, this practice develops an intuitive awareness of the probabilities and potentials that surround every decision. Reflection practice. Throughout your day, pause whenever you face a moment of decision or hesitation. Ask yourself, what options are present? What outcomes feel possible if I act with conscious attention? How does awareness of these possibilities influence my approach to challenges, relationships, and creative endeavors? Journaling your observations can reveal patterns and guide your navigation through this limitless dimension. The eighth realm teaches that reality is not fixed. It is alive, responsive to consciousness and intention. It reminds you that every thought, every choice, every vibration carries creative power. By attuning to this realm, you cultivate both discernment and responsibility, learning that the universe is not a passive stage, but a dynamic field of co-creation. As you leave this chapter, carry with you the understanding that possibility is infinite. Clarity of intention and conscious presence are your tools for navigating it wisely. Here, in the vast quantum sea, you discover that the true power of consciousness is the ability to recognize, select, and align with the pathways that lead toward growth, harmony, and the fulfillment of your highest potential. Chapter 9. The ninth realm, the realm of unity, non-duality, wholeness, and the dissolution of separation. Beyond the boundless expanse of possibility lies a realm where the very concept of separation dissolves. This is the ninth realm, the realm of unity. Here, the distinctions that define ordinary perception, self and other, inner and outer, subject and object, begin to blur and ultimately vanish. Consciousness is no longer confined to individual experience. Instead, it merges with the totality of existence, revealing the profound interconnectedness of all things. In this realm, duality, the tension of opposites, is transcended. Light and shadow, joy and sorrow, creation and dissolution are no longer separate forces. They are complementary aspects of a single, unified whole. The ego, which defines identity through boundaries, begins to soften and dissolve. What remains is pure awareness, spacious, luminous, and unbounded. Here, the traveler experiences consciousness as both the river and the ocean, the wave and the wave's source, inseparable from the totality of life. Unity is not an abstract concept. It is a lived, experiential reality. Time and space lose their conventional meaning. Thought and feeling, form and energy, potential and manifestation. These distinctions collapse into a single field of consciousness. In this expansive awareness, the mind no longer clings to control or definition. It rests in the flow of being. The sense of I merges with the sense of all, revealing the profound truth: the universe is not separate from you, it is you. Meditation. Sit quietly and bring your attention inward. Imagine the boundaries of the self gently dissolving, like mist merging with the morning air. Sense your awareness expanding, reaching beyond the body, beyond the mind, until it encompasses the vast network of life, energy, and existence. Observe the experience of oneness without trying to hold or define it. Notice how your sense of identity shifts, and how a feeling of wholeness, peace, and interconnectedness arises naturally. The realm of unity offers profound insight into the nature of consciousness. It shows that all distinctions are ultimately relative and temporary. What appears as separation is, in truth, the play of form within a singular field of being. Every encounter, every emotion, every thought exists as a thread within this infinite tapestry. By experiencing unity directly, the traveler comes to understand that life is an interwoven dance of energy, intention, and awareness. Reflection practice. Throughout your day, notice moments of perceived separation, conflict, judgment, or disconnection. Pause and reflect. How might these experiences be expressions of a temporary perspective rather than ultimate reality? Practice seeing connections where you previously saw division, and cultivate the awareness that all beings share a common essence. Reflect on how this understanding influences your actions, choices, and interactions with the world. Unity also brings a subtle but profound responsibility. When the sense of separation dissolves, awareness of interconnectedness deepens. Every action, thought, and intention carries significance, not only for the self, but for the whole. Compassion, empathy, and conscious engagement arise naturally in this state, because harming another is, in truth, a reflection of harming oneself. As the traveler moves through this realm, the ego does not disappear entirely. Instead, it becomes a tool rather than a master, a lens that can observe, participate, and act with understanding of the larger whole. The ninth realm is both liberating and grounding. It dissolves the illusion of separateness while enhancing clarity, purpose, and harmonious participation in the unfolding of existence. As you leave this chapter, carry forward the awareness that unity is the underlying reality of all realms. The experience of oneness is not a distant goal, but a living presence accessible in every moment. This understanding prepares the soul for the final stage of the journey, the return to source, where essence, creation, and conscious choice converge in the ultimate realization of being. Chapter 10. The 10th Realm, the Source Dimension. Origin, creation, and the return to self. At the culmination of this journey lies the 10th Realm, the Source Dimension. This is the origin from which all existence emanates, the unmanifest wellspring of consciousness and being. In this realm, distinctions, forms, and even the subtle energies of the prior dimensions dissolve completely. What remains is pure essence. Here, the traveler confronts a profound truth. All realms, all experiences, all creations arise from a singular, infinite source. The source is not a thing to be grasped or analyzed. It is the ground of being itself. Timeless, boundless, and formless, it is the wellspring from which every form, every vibration, and every possibility flows. In this realm, the concepts of self and other, inside and outside, potential and actual, all collapse into a singular awareness. It is the origin of creation, and it is the destination of all journeys. A place of perfect stillness, of infinite potential, where essence exists without limitation, without separation. In the source dimension, consciousness encounters its own origin. Identity, as we know it in the lower realms, is no longer necessary. The ego, the body, even thought itself are optional perspectives, tools for navigating other realms, but here, the traveler rests in pure being. This experience brings clarity unlike any other. All existence is recognized as a manifestation of the same underlying reality. Every choice, every intention, every creation arises from this eternal source. Reflective practice. Sit in stillness and allow your awareness to turn inward, beyond thought, beyond sensation, beyond form. Sense the infinite space within which all things arise and dissolve. Imagine yourself merging with this source, not as an act of loss, but as an expansion of consciousness into its original state. Notice the freedom, the silence, the completeness that is always present, even within the seeming limitations of the lower realms. The 10th realm also reveals the dynamic nature of creation. From source, all realms, patterns, archetypes, and possibilities emerge. Creation is an emanation, a flowering of essence into form, an interplay between awareness and potential. By witnessing this process from the perspective of source, The traveler gains insight into the purpose of the entire journey: to experience, to learn, and to return with understanding. The lessons of each realm, from physical embodiment to unity consciousness, are now integrated into the full spectrum of awareness, enriching both essence and expression. Returning from this dimension is not a departure, it is a conscious choice. Source does not compel, it invites. The traveler may carry back the wisdom, clarity, and expanded perspective gained from this ultimate realization into the realms of form and experience. This is the culmination of the journey, the integration of infinite potential into conscious, intentional life. The wisdom of Source informs every thought, every action, every interaction, allowing existence to be navigated with clarity, compassion, and alignment with the fundamental nature of being. Integration practice. Reflect on the knowledge and insight gathered from each realm. Which lessons are ready to be applied in your life? How does your understanding of Source influence your perception of time, energy, emotion, archetype, and collective consciousness? Consider which practices, intentions, or changes can help you embody this awareness in daily life, bridging the infinite with the tangible. The 10th realm reminds the traveler that all realms are aspects of the same fundamental reality. The journey through form, energy, mind, and possibility ultimately leads back to the unmanifest essence from which all arises. It is here that the traveler recognizes the eternal cycle of creation, experience, and return, the continuous flow between source and expression. As you close this final chapter, carry forward the awareness that Source is both origin and destination, stillness and potential, emptiness and fullness. The journey through the Tenfold Realms is not merely a passage through dimensions. It is a profound invitation to remember who you are at the deepest level, an eternal expression of consciousness, capable of navigating all realms with wisdom, presence, and creative intention. In this understanding, the traveler finds both freedom and purpose, recognizing that every step of the journey, no matter how subtle or grand, has always been a return to self.